Hey there guys, this video is going to be a detailed breakdown analysis of the Hanayama cast spiral. We'll be starting off first with the solution for disassembling it, and then there'll be a section on why you can't straight away just disassemble it, what makes it a puzzle, with information then leading into how you reassemble it, and the reasons behind that, and how to do it just straight away by picking up the pieces without having to well, there is some fumbling around, but that's just part and parcel of it. There's ways to be able to reassemble it straight away without getting confused about where you're going. So, section 1, how to disassemble it. When you look at the 5 pieces together, as you see them, there are 5 solid pieces that look like normal jigsaw puzzle pieces would do, with the arm extending out into a recess of the neighbouring piece. There's 5 of them in a circular configuration, or hexagon in the middle kind of thing. You'll notice on one side, one of the pieces, this one right here, has this stamp, the Hanayama name, shall we say. It's not on all the pieces and it's not on both sides. So there's a way of identifying where you are at the beginning straight away. If you actually hold on to that piece and let the rest of the pieces fall away from it, you end up with this spiral configuration. That's how the actual puzzle gets its name. Upward-going spiral. From there, if you actually hold on to the Hanayama stamp piece and the piece next to it, right here, keeping these 3 in their stepped arrangement and these 2 in their own stepped arrangement, but think of those as 2 separate units. Move these 2 down, and then you, at the halfway point, you should be able to just pull that away. From there you are free to disassemble these 2 parts here, disassemble this part from here, and this part from here. And that is the disassembled Hanayama cast spiral. So let's talk about what actually makes this a puzzle. I've got these 2 pieces here from the side of the configuration. From what before, these were about this position here. The reason why these pieces won't slide all the way through each other is because when we look at this piece here, it's very subtle, but you might be able to notice it on the video, you might not, but the top edge here is slightly wider across than it is at the bottom. So as it slides through that channel, because it's wide at the top, the bottom part goes in fine. The top part will go into a point, but then at a certain point that channel is too narrow for the top of the puzzle piece to actually go any further through. And it's the same with all of them. Like I say, it's slightly wider at the top here than it is at the bottom. I don't know if you can tell by the lighting there. But that's how all those puzzle pieces come together. And they are subtly different, the pieces are together, so they don't just go back together in any old configuration. Which is why we're now going to talk about how to recognise and put back the right pieces. Just mixing these up so that it's a little bit more of a challenge for me. I don't want to just have them already straight away set out and just automatically picking them up so that they're in sequence. Right, the first thing I want to do is I want to locate out of those 5 pieces the one that has that Hanayama stamp on it. So is it this one here? Nope. This one? Nope. That one? Yes. Okay, keep that to one side. This is going to be our key. You can if you just put the other ones to the side at the moment, just look at this one. You'll notice when you look at them all that because of the spiral configuration, they're all facing the same direction. And what I mean by that is that the arm extends into this neighbour on the same direction as all of them. So the next piece around here, the recess and then the arm, and then of course the next piece will be the recess and then the arm, and then the next piece the recess and then the arm. So you know that this piece in my left hand here is not the right way up, because you can't have arm to arm or recess to recess. So now we know this is the right configuration. What we want to do is test the other 4 pieces in this recess. Now 2 of them will actually go into the piece. Now what I mean by going into the piece is that it actually extends further than that plane of level. So this one does, and I'll explain more about that one in a second. So I'm going to put that over to the right. Try another one, get it in the right direction, put it in, and this one does as well. Put that one over to the right as well. These two won't. See what I mean? Like, so as you can see there, that won't go in any further. It's too wide for the narrow opening, so I'll put that one to my left. Same with the other one. I'll show you just to prove what I mean. This one hardly goes in at all. Okay, those two don't, so they go to the left. Now, if you remember what we did to separate it was we had a section of 3, and then this and another one making a section of 2. The two that don't fit in that gap, the ones that I've just put to the left, they are the outside edges of the section of 3. One of the two that did fit, that is in the middle of those other two, and the other one, of course, connects to this 2. It was the one that slides down. The way that you can simply tell the difference, you can either take each one of those pieces you put down and try them in both configurations of that one, or you can just go ahead with what I'm about to do now. When you push them through and they go all the way through, I'll start with the other one. So this one here, as you can see, we've got these halfway markings on the actual cast pieces. So as this one's going through to about halfway, because the edge of this one lines up with that halfway mark, and the halfway mark of this lines up with the edge here. So if that's going halfway, I'm going to say, as a mnemonic, that this is halfway to being completed of the puzzle. That's the one that goes halfway between the other two pieces in the chain of 3. Do you get the mnemonic there? The other piece is slightly different from that. It goes nearly all the way to the end. So my mnemonic here is, I'm nearly all the way to being completed by having that there. So the difference, like I say, this edge does not line up with that middle line, it's further away from it. Again, this edge does not line up with that middle line, it's further past it. So that's the two that come up away. To talk about the edge of the other one, I've got a mnemonic for that. Again, there's one that goes in to about halfway, and the other one doesn't go in anywhere at all. The one that goes in about halfway is, you remember when we had it, I had this down at the bottom, and these were on the, so there was the 2 over here, and the left there was the 3. So you've got one at the bottom, one in the middle, and one at the top, excuse me. The one that went halfway through this piece, I consider to be halfway to the top. I use the mnemonic. So that's the top part. So that was, I believe it was this one? Yes. So we've got this one. We've got the middle piece that we established earlier on because it went through the Hanayama key, and the bottom piece that didn't go anywhere at all in the Hanayama key. Then you take these two pieces, and like I say, with the Hanayama piece at the uppermost, it just goes in. Show you from this kind of an angle here. Slight twist involved, and then it's in position to either slide up or slide down, depending on your preference. But whichever way, that then puts the piece back together. And there's your solved and completed puzzle. But like I said, that's my way of doing it, by having the Hanayama thing at the top. Of course, you can have the Hanayama piece and this one at the bottom, I believe. If I remember the way it works out. So by having that one at the bottom, you can come up and twist out the same way. I prefer to, like I say, just have the Hanayama piece at the top. It's just easy for me to remember. So there we have it.